Hey, welcome to Weld.com, home of TIG time. Hi, I'm Mr. TIG, and today we're going to show you a comparison of welding helmets, not because one's better than the other, but they have a couple of different features that you need to know about. Now, you've seen me use this helmet quite frequently, and it's because it's one of my favorites, one of the lightest. Actually went out and I weighed this thing with what I have in here. I have a cheater lens in here. It's 1.75, so it adds a little bit of weight. But I've got the headband on here, and this thing weighs 1 pound, 4 ounces. Doesn't sound like a lot, but every ounce counts. The features on here are so good that I use this probably 90% of the time. But I like this one because I can dial it down to a 9 shade lens, and I can dial it up to 13. That's very convenient. Now, all of the quick change helmets have certain features that are very similar, but here's one you got to look at. When this thing is in the 9, you're welding with it, and if you quit welding, it's going to clear up, but it doesn't get completely clear. It gets to about a 3.2 or 3.4, so it still has a little bit of fuzz to it. Now, there's a couple of things that happen with these helmets. When I start welding like razor blades or real thin materials, and for whatever reason, it just isn't sensitive enough to pick up the arc because the emissions are so low. So what I end up doing is I end up setting this down and I grab my old-fashioned helmet, the old passive lens. Well, and it works fine because you can put a glass lens in there, very clear, and you don't have to worry about it fluttering on you. So that's what I've been doing in the past, and I accidentally found this other helmet, and this is my 10% helmet. I'll use this for very specific needs. If I'm doing under 5 amps, I'll use this helmet, and I do that quite frequently. Now, there's another thing that I use this helmet for, and that's if I get into mixed gases, if I get into helium gas. Helium puts out different light emissions, and it kind of screws and tricks, plays games with this lens. So it'll start fluttering, coming on, off, on, off. And this right here, it will not. Now, there's a cool feature on here because the old passive helmets you used to have to flip the hood and the whole hood would come down. Well, this has a ratchet on it. When you move your jaw, it'll lift up. Now you can flip this down, and if you're going to tack weld, and I'm talking micro welding, this is a feature that's pretty handy. And you know, I crawl under cars all the time, so I want to show you how this works. And I played with it probably for about 20 minutes to see if I liked it. Okay, I'm looking at you right now, and I've got a clear lens. I don't have a 3.2 or 3.4. I've got clear. Now, all I have to do is flip this down, and I've got a number 9 in here right now, and I can activate my jaw, and I can see the part that I'm welding on. Okay, so I'm welding. Now, I need to grind or I need to look at the part. All I have to do is flip this. And you can adjust the jaw motion. So it's kind of a key feature, so it makes your hands free. And again, it's got a passive lens in it. So when you're welding at the 3 amps or the 4 amps, it's a very, very fine lens. And I weld with a 9 when I'm down into 3 amps. Sometimes I'll drop down to an 8 lens. So I'm going to put my gear on and just make a little tack weld, a little run here, and use this and show you how I use it. Okay, I got the lid open. I can see very, very clearly. I'm going to close it and put a tack in. Over here, put a tack. Over here, put a tack. Okay, now I'm just looking at what I've got here. I'm going to make a little weld, a little low amperage weld. Okay, well I just took some 16 gauge stainless steel, put it together, and I'm only running about 8 to 10 amps, so just about any machine will do that, and you could really use any helmet to do that. But I just wanted to prove a point that you could flip this lid and make tacks consecutive and have really clear vision. Now in testing this thing, a couple of features that I look at. One is, I brought my 1.75 reading glasses, and when you got them on and you're in this helmet, they have a tendency to ride up and down. So my suggestion is, if you're going to use this type of helmet, even though it doesn't have a holder for it on the inside, go ahead and tape your cheaters in, because that'll help you use this, and then you'll like it. So I use 1.75. Cheaters come in all different sizes and shapes, so if you need to get a hold of us, just let us know. This helmet itself is pretty light, so we decided to put it on a scale just to see. And the setup, as I see it right here, is this is 1 pound 6 ounces. And I already mentioned this is 1 pound 4 ounces, so this is one of the lightest on the markets. So not a bad deal. It looks bigger and heavier than that, but surprising. So I like a couple of the features. Like I say, this would be used 10% of the time in my shop. I asked the owner what the cost of it was retail, and he told me it was under $99. So we're going to give you information on our show notes so you can get a hold of this person if you're interested. Now we have a lot of people that call us and say, hey, we've got different welding products we'd like for you to test or look at even. So we extend that offer. Just send it to us or email us. We'll take a look at it first, and we'll work it in as soon as we can. But I really want to thank this guy for sending us this helmet, and thank you for watching TIG Time. I'm Mr. TIG.